Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just finishing up my ride out here in the Utah, Arizona, and Nevada desert, and wanted to stop and just do a quick review of what happened over the last couple of days and my thoughts on the Husky 701 Enduro. It's really kind of windy out right now. Hopefully, it's not too bad on the tape. The first thing I got to say about the Husqvarna 701 is it is an awesome bike. I can't believe just how well the bike did today and yesterday and the past couple of days. So just right now, I just finished up. I was taking, it's starting to rain and get kind of nasty out here in the desert. So I was taking an alternate route back from Mesquite into St. George, and just put adventure route on my GPS, and the Zumo, man, did it give me an adventure. I ended up on a dirt road right after a rain. It was just snot and slick as can be, and the bike did really well on that. And then it took me on to basically a two-track through some farmer's land where there was lots of rocks, ruts. It was just terrible, and I was really concerned about the bike, but it did great. Then the sun came out a little bit and dried everything up, and it was a real blast. Right now I'm at a kind of a motorsports park just outside of St. George, Utah. Not motorsports, but it's more BLM land with just tons of trails and washes and all that stuff to ride. And there's a few people out here having a good time. I got a couple more miles into town, and then I'm going to wrap it up for this trip and start headed back to the house. So talking about the bike, I'll talk about the things I don't like first, because there's not much. The first thing is the TKC 80 tires that came on it. I'm not real fond of them. I find that in the sand and in the mud, they really don't track well. They really want to just kind of wander around bad. I did do a couple of passes where I had some rocks that I was climbing on, and like slick rock type of stuff. They did really well on that. I imagine more because of the hard compound of the tire. And on the highway, they're really good for an off-road tire. They do pretty well on the highway, 60, 70 miles an hour, and it was very smooth. I really had no problems with that, but I didn't do much time on the highway. So yeah, the TKC 80s, not a huge fan. I'm gonna swap those out for something else. Let me see, other things I don't like about the bike. That's it. There's nothing else. This bike is freaking awesome, man. I can't believe it. For being a very heavy bike, dual sport, it goes where just about any other trail bike or dirt bike will go. I did go down once a little bit ago, and I'll say I'm glad that I put these bark busters, or not bark busters. These are Sycra, whatever you want to call them. But I'm glad I put them on, because it does save your levers. So that was good. The seat concept seat, man, saved my life. I tell you what, this thing is so awesome. So much better than the factory bike. If you're going to go on any sort of long rides, you got to replace the seat. There's other options out there, I'm sure, or I know, but as far as I'm concerned, the seat concept seat is just primo, man. I love it. It gets nice and fat back here, so when you're just cruising down a road somewhere, you can sit on the back and have a little bit more surface for your butt cheeks. Very super comfortable. The Moscow Moto Reckless 40s, very good. Again, like I said, I was really into some stuff on this trip, and everything that I've got on here stayed nice and secure, didn't go anywhere, and it just did a great job. Really loving these bags. I have a Tusk rack on the back here that I bought and mounted. Before I had that, I was mounting them kind of forward here on the seat, which is the only way you could really mount them on this particular bike, and it made it so my calves were hitting the back of the bag, or the front of the bag, when I would ride. So putting this Tusk elevated rack on the back really helped out a lot. Let's see, what else? I can't say enough about the bike. It handles superbly in just about all situations. Even even with the fact that the tires were not the best for what I was riding in. And I got everything on this trip. I got flat, just dirt roads where you could just go all out. I got mountain passes, curvy washes full of rocks and boulders, and it took everything I could throw at it. The engine on this thing is superb. A lot of the turns I went on yesterday as I was climbing up some of these passes, I'd come around a tight turn and realize, oh, there's a bunch of boulders and stuff in my way, and I'd have to come to almost a dead stop in order to assess which route I wanted to take up the rocks. Just come to an almost a stop, put it in first gear, and between the clutch and the throttle, it would climb straight up anything. Never killed it once. This thing has climbing power, like it's unbelievable, but it's smooth. It never once tried to buck me. I never got myself into a situation where I was nervous about it. Very, very smooth power when you roll on the throttle. The clutch on this bike is excellent, so that really helps a lot. I had it in enduro mode, almost the whole time with the anti-lock brakes off. That reminds me of one other complaint I would have about this bike, aside from the TKC 80 tires, which can be replaced. The only other lick I would put on this bike is that you can't turn the anti-lock brakes off on the front wheel. And I found that some of the stuff that I was going down, when I'd come over a rock or something like that and going down a really steep, nasty piece of trail, didn't matter how hard I hit that front brake, it was not slowing down. I think the ABS is a little too sensitive, and I was like, oh crap, I can't stop this bike, and I hit things hard a couple of times. Luckily nothing happened, but I would like to see an option to turn the ABS off on the front wheel. The back wheel, you turn the ABS off and you can lock it up nice and slide it around turns and stuff like that at a slow speed. But I just found, and it could be my extra weight and the weight of the gear I'm carrying, but I just couldn't slow the bike down going down hills. So that's really the only other complaint I have about the bike. Again, it was a joy to ride. I can't say enough good things about this Husqvarna 701. Yeah, it was fantastic. So if you're in the market or you're wondering about whether to get this, I will say there was some stuff I rode today where I was thinking, man, I don't even know if I would take my KTM 300 trail bike on this stuff. And I thought for sure I was going to get myself into a situation. Nope, it just ate up whatever I could throw at it. Beautiful, beautiful bike. Husqvarna, great job on this thing. If you ask me, this is the premier dual sport. And also because of the fact that you can get up on the freeway, I had to get on I-15 for a little bit, and I was doing 75 miles an hour. Yeah, it's windy, there's no windscreen or anything like that, but the bike has power for days, and it's also super capable in tight, twisty stuff as well. So, that being said, I hope you liked the review I did on the bike, and more adventures to come on this thing for sure, and more videos. Right now I'm a little freezing from the morning's ride, so I'm going to call it quits here and head back into town, get some coffee and a hot shower. So thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And until the next time, I hope you guys are out riding and having a great time, and don't forget to keep the rubber side down.